Good evening, truckers, and welcome to another episode of Bizzle Haulage. And today, as you can see, we have a truck on test. This is another road test, and today we're taking the Iveco Stralis Hi-Way out on a journey. We're going to go from Kiel in Germany, back in Kiel, because I did a journey from Liverpool to Kiel as a quick test of this truck, and we're going to Vasteras or Vasteras, I think that is, and that's in the middle of Sweden. And we're taking 16 tons of ice cream to Sweden for those lovely Swedes. I never knew they'd like ice cream so much, being in a cold country, but there you go, you learn something new every day. And we're taking them the ice cream in this DHL trailer, so 16 tons worth. And bit more about this truck. It is a Stralis Hi-Way Euro 6. The Stralis Hi-Way was introduced in 2013 as a replacement for the original Mark 1 Stralis, which you can still drive on this game. And this model, it has the Cursor 11 engine. It has 460 horsepower. So let's get inside and have a look. Let's see what it looks like inside. Not a bad looking truck actually, it looks a bit more car-like than a lot of trucks, to be honest. Very nice, quite pleasant. Nice big mirrors, nice seating, that's cloth seating in here, unlike some trucks on Euro Truck which are leather. You've got a sat-nav screen, decent all-round visibility, driving position is, pretty good. Big mirrors, you can see plenty, and also, I don't know if it's me, but the mirrors seem slightly closer to the door on the Stralis than some trucks, so you don't have to look over quite as far. Dials are nice and clear. Plenty of room. Brought a cool box. I've brought my gym bag as well. The only thing is in the centre there, where the nodding dog is, there's only one space for DLC content, so unlike the Actros where you can get 3, there's only one space, so I've just brought the nodding dog along. A cup of tea, that can go elsewhere, that's still in the Mercedes. Right, so let's centre the position and have a look. Yeah, all round very good visibility. And let's get going and we'll get to Sweden. I'll tell you a bit more about this truck along the way and a bit more about some of the latest developments on this channel. So let's fire up, shall we? Let's get it into gear now. I have bought a steering wheel. I'll tell you a bit more about that shortly. So start the engine. Nice central screen. That isn't standard with this truck. There is a mod available for that screen. It's only about 1 megabyte in size, but just adds a bit more realism. You've got a fuel readout there, a blank screen, a water temperature, an AdBlue gauge, and a central screen, and as well you've got, that's oil temperature, and that's a fuel. So let's listen to what it sounds like. It's quite a nice sounding engine. This is a 11 litre engine. Very nice sounding. Let's listen to it from the outside. Excellent. Alright, so let's get going. Let's get to Vasteras before this ice cream melts. So we are ready for the off. Now, as you may have been able to tell when I started this video, you probably noticed I had the truck in neutral and I could actually rev it. Now that is because I had, as you can probably hear, a steering wheel. Jackknife that to carry on. Bought myself a steering wheel online. It's a Logitech Force GT, and it's not bad. It's a little bit noisy. It is definitely a little bit noisy. So if anybody's got any ideas on how you can reduce the noise it makes, those would be very welcome. If anybody's had a Force GT or they've currently got one, your tips on setting it up would be very welcome as well. What I've done with mine is I've reduced the steering rotation from 900 degrees to 780. gives a little bit more. Keep hitting the brake. Go around corners, but we'll get used to this wheel. This is the first proper journey, a longer journey I've done with the wheel in place and in use, so it will be a bit of an experience for everybody. This journey most certainly. Let's just get it to start. Yeah, I'm a little bit too eager on the brakes, I think. That is my problem. However, steering wheel, going around corners is better. You've got more of an idea of what steering input to put in. It's more realistic, certainly. One thing I have noticed is I'm having to reduce my speed going into corners, because I was carrying huge amounts of speed going into corners beforehand, which isn't realistic, and that's because the controller, the way it's steered, allowed me to do that basically, whereas this doesn't. It's far more punishing. On any kind of slip up you make, it is much more willing to punish you. Control is very simplistic, so you can kind of adjust your steering input mid-corner very quickly. With this wheel, it is a lot harder to do so. I'm just going to put the cruise on now. I'll just take the Iveco for a nice drive on this country road. Now, this is where I had a bit of a disaster on country roads. The very first time I put this wheel in, I thought it was a brilliant idea to use it without putting Logitech Profiler on, because I tried to download it, I thought it downloaded, didn't actually install. It just did nothing. So it downloaded, it kind of looked like it was going to install, didn't actually do anything. I thought you didn't need it. Turns out you did, because when I first took it round a corner, I was struggling. Because the steering was so sensitive. I was launching myself off the road. In fact, on the way to Kiel, I caused in total about £30,000 worth of damage to this truck because of the steering wheel. So that is my tale of getting here, and that is my piece of advice. If you get a Logitech wheel, make sure you download the Profiler first, because if you plug it in and expect it to play straight away, then it just won't be quite right for this game. Steering inputs will be a little bit bizarre. There's another Iveco. Hello. Fine choice you've made, because this is actually a very nice truck to drive. You wouldn't believe it's got 460 horsepower. It feels to me, personally, like it's a little bit quicker than that. Torque figure, I think, is around about 2,000 newton meters of torque from about 1,000 to 1,600 RPM. I will double check those figures, as I do like to be accurate with you, so I'll put the correct ones on. And this is an 11 litre engine, as I said before, so it's a little bit small, certainly a bit smaller than the Mercedes engine. It's a good 4 litres smaller, and it's 170 horsepower down. You don't feel that difference too much, to be quite honest. It still feels reasonably powerful, and plenty torquey. I pulled 20 tons of this on the way to Kiel, and it wasn't really a problem apart from going up hills, quite big hills. The hill to Hull from the A1M, the Mercedes breezed up. This struggled with a bit more, but to be fair, it is about 1,000 newton meters down and 170 horsepower down, so you would kind of expect that. Let's get on to the see how it performs getting on the slip roads. It's not bad at all, actually. Acceleration wise, it's reasonably impressive. There's several different power versions available with the Stralis Hi-Way. This is the third most powerful. Above this, there's a 500 horsepower and a. Let's get my wipers on. Let's get the wipers on. Oh dear, I haven't set a key for the wipers. Excuse me, folks. I thought I'd set a key for the wipers. Let's set the wipers up. That's not the key I want for the wipers. That's it. Right, let's get going again. Don't try and cut in. I have a feeling it's going to try and breeze past me then. But yeah, there's 500 horsepower above this, and above that is 560. That's as powerful as the Stralis go. Those two engines are slightly bigger than this one. They're a 13 litre. That's the Cursor 13. All the Stralis engines are called Cursor, but they have different sizes and different power outputs with those sizes. So full range is a Cursor 9 with 310, then a Cursor, another Cursor 9 with 330, then a 360, then a 400. You go into the Cursor 11s with 420, and then 460, and then the Cursor 13 with a 500 and a 560 on. I've driven a 560 before in a 4x2 form, and it's actually very, very nice truck to drive. Plenty of power. It actually feels a bit like kind of sporty in a way, because the torque comes in virtually the whole way across the rev range, like from 1000 to about 1600 hopefully that's before beams on. That wouldn't have been very good if someone was coming the other way. Very kind of quick truck actually, quite nippy. Very nice round corners. Very kind of bits. Well, it sounds silly, but it's kind of a bit like a sports car, really, in a way. It's a strange thing to say about a truck. But 4x2, very nice truck to drive. And this is a 6x24 mid-lift, as I usually go for. Thing I must say now is if you go into quick jobs and try to drive a Stralis Hi-Way, you won't find anything with the 3 axles on the tractor units, because for some reason they're not available. If you want a Stralis Hi-Way with 3 axles, you have to buy one. Let's get the indicator on. Much better roundabouts with the steering than I was. And we're coming up to the ferry. This ferry is actually in place in real life. I've been on Google Maps to have a look. The entrance to it is a lot different from this, because it's kind of in the middle of like what looks like a little village actually. Sharing the same name, Pub Garden. I think that is. The game's lagging a little bit. I don't know why. Something's just caused it to lag just a touch. So hopefully that doesn't come across too badly on video. Oh, brake! I'm not used to the brakes yet, so let's get it in reverse. That's better. Into neutral, handbrake on, lights off, wipers off, engine off, and let's get the ferry. So this is a ferry from northern Germany to Denmark. Is in place in real life. I think it probably does take about 45 minutes actually in real life, judging by the distance between the two. And we are into Denmark when this loads. Come on, that's it. Oh, and the weather's even worse, mind you. We've only been on ferry 45 minutes, so let's start her up. Let's get the headlights on because the visibility is not very good. And into drive. And away we go. So, we are now in Denmark itself. Very beautiful country. I've never been. I've seen lots of photos of Copenhagen, as well as some of the villages around Denmark, and I tell you what, I wish I could go. We're going this way. Yes, we are. It looks stunning, I've got to say. That's on a list of mine. definitely countries to visit. Denmark is absolutely right. Sorry about the noise. You can probably hear the wheel. A little bit noisy. It is a touch of noise itself. I will look into various ways of kind of toning it down a little bit. Let's get the cruise control. What a really nasty day to be taking this load to Sweden. Really horrible weather. But SCS do that really well. They've got some great weather conditions. The rainstorm, it does actually feel like you're actually driving in the rain. It feels really quite unpleasant to drive in. Other things that I would love to see, proper snow mode on Euro Truck. I would love to see SCS build that in. Proper snow, like different weather affecting your truck. So, for example, I'm coming up here to a bit of an open section on this route. Once you get past this junction, there is kind of a bridge between the islands of Denmark, because Denmark is made up of several different islands. There's quite a few like large islands, because Copenhagen is on a separate island entirely from the mainland of Denmark, the actual bit of Denmark that protrudes out north of Germany, and then there's other islands there. It's made up of quite a few. It's a bit like Scotland in that respect. Have you ever seen Scotland on a map? You've got the main part of Scotland, the mainland, attached to the UK. And you've got the Hebrides, the Orkneys, and the Shetland Isles, and there's a few other different islands which have different names, like Inner Hebrides and Mull and Arran. And this open section, it would be really nice if on a day like this it was howling wind, so your truck would kind of get blown around a little bit. It'd be brilliant if they could include that. It'd be brilliant as well, actually, I've just thought of this now, if they could include like weather forecasts. So before you depart on your journey, you can have a look and see what the weather will be like along the way. So if you're taking a load of 1,000 miles, for example, and you're going over 2 or 3 days, you can see what the weather will be like when you get there. That would be great when the weather, if the weather actually affects your truck. If any such system was actually implemented, that would be brilliant to see. That kind of thing. So weather forecasts. So let's say you're going from Scotland to Norway, for example. You're going into like the middle of Norway. It'd be nice to see it when you get there. For example, it would be snowing. It would be snowing. It would be -2, or it'd be really windy. It would be brilliant to see that. So you could prepare your truck for that. So you could say buy winter tyres, or buy snow chains, or things like that to kind of keep you going. Those kind of things in Euro Truck, I think would be fantastic to see. I think it's a bit of an omission really that they haven't been included, but you never know, in future releases maybe Euro Truck Simulator 3 might incorporate those whenever that comes out, or maybe American Truck Simulator will incorporate some of those in the future. And plus as well, also on the subject of weather, perhaps different seasons could be incorporated. So when you're going through countries in say late October, early November, the leaves are falling off the trees, it's getting colder, your hand's getting tired, it's darker earlier on. So say for example you're driving in October and it's starting to go dark at 5 o'clock at night, like it does here in the UK. It would be great to see something like that included, so you kind of go through the seasons as you go through with your company. And another thing along those lines, actually, I think I may have mentioned this before, different public holidays. So for example, if you take a truck out on say, I don't know, August the 25th, for example, in a certain year. That's around about the time here in the UK we have what's known as a bank holiday. So we have a Monday where basically shops limited hours, schools don't go in. Schools don't go in August anyway, but in the UK anyway. But they do in Scotland actually. Now I've said that, they do in Scotland. Scotland's school holiday is a bit different to the England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. What was I saying then? So, for example, if it's a public holiday, let's say it's a public holiday in Denmark, and you go on a quick job, and you'll be paid extra for taking that job because it's a public holiday. It'd be nice to see things like that. I've just pulled in for fuel and I actually need to rest. Oh dear. Right, okay. Let's get going again. Let's see if there's somewhere I can rest up now. It's calm. I think there is. I wasn't concentrating, I was too busy talking about public holidays. I think I can stop here. Let's see. I can. Yes, I can. Excellent. Alright. So let's pull up. Turn the engine off. And let's get the man rested. Hello again, everybody. Right, I am up again. I am ready to go.